Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to another message with Miss T, right? So it's so crazy, guys, but for some reason today, Sunday, April 23rd, 2022, I just kept hearing for someone, it's time to fall back into it, okay? It's time to fall back into it, okay? Now, there's something around this time where you or someone are falling back into something, right? It's time to fall back into this thing, go back into something, make something, create something, do something. But there's something that you're falling back into, or you're going back into something, right? And I'm hearing self esteem. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. So I don't know if there was something about someone's self esteem, or someone had a sense of self esteem issues, or someone was dealing with something internally here. Okay. But there's something that you're falling back into, right? And there's something around this time where I feel like it's so crazy, but it's like trying to remember why you fell in love with something to begin with, right? Trying to remember why you loved something. What made you love the idea of this something? What gave you the desire for it? Right? There could have been a person, or there could be something around this time where it's kind of like you're falling back into something, but you're having to remember why you love something to begin with, or someone, right? Because sometimes, guys, you can fall in and out of love with someone. It's a flow, it's an ebb and flow, right? It's emotions. And sometimes, even in a relationship or a connection, right? There could be times where you have those high moments, and you have those low moments, right? But if it's still something there, right? And something that's not detrimental, or something that's not going to be life threatening or something like that, then no, you release yourself of those. But if there's something where around this time, someone is showing you the honesty, the truth, someone is showing you the change, someone is showing you the growth. Thank you, Spirit. The growth, right? So you're falling back into something around this time. But you would have to use your discernment on whether this is something of righteous intent, something good, or if this is something not so good, right? You would have to use your discernment. But you're falling back into something around this time. And there may have been something where you had lost the passion for something or someone, or the desire for something or someone. Um, I'm being drawn to this thing I always think about. Thank you, Spirit. It's so crazy. But I oftentimes always loved to see when people say, "Oh, we've been married for like 60 years. We've been married for like 50 years. We just been married for however, even 10 years, 5 years, however many years," right? But especially when I hear like the long, long years, I often think sometimes in those relationships, I can only imagine, right? Sometimes what they had to go through, what they had to endure, what they had to experience within those years, right? Because when you fall into love with someone, or you grow into love with someone, or you grow to love someone, there are going to be things that you experience within those years, right? Why? Because the enemy is always busy, temptation is always busy, things are always busy, or trying to do things to keep you, and as such, out of accordance to the vows or the things that you have taken, right? To you and someone. So there could have been something where maybe you or someone have been together for a long time, or there is something about a relationship that has been around for so long. And can you only imagine the things that someone has had to endure? When you are with someone for so long, you will have your highs, you will have your lows, you will have your ups, you will have your downs, right? You will have moments where there can be things sometimes where people do stay despite mistakes, right? But I often say that you can forgive someone for the mistake. It's just as long as it doesn't become a pattern, right? because we all make mistakes. We all can be tempted. We all can be, in a sense, gravitated towards things that may or may not be of righteous intent, right? Whether you choose to believe in just, in a sense, I don't know why I'm being drawn to the vows, right? To the vows, right? When you really think about someone that's going to love you in sickness and in health, someone may be getting married or really ready to state their vows. Someone's ready to get married, right? And when it says sickness and in health, right? The ups and the downs, the good and the bads, till death do us part. So there's something around this time where someone is trying to uphold something or uphold the standards of something or something that they're ready to commit to or to say, right? Or to do, right? But there may have been some mistakes along the way, because sometimes, guys, especially when someone's married for those many years, they've been married since they were children, since they were young, in a sense, since they were still, since they were like 18, 20 something, right? They've been married for almost 50, 60 years. They usually got married very young, right? So that means that sometimes you guys are still, you have to grow into love. You have to grow into knowing who this person is and who that person is. You have to grow into it, right? And sometimes along the ways, guys, there's going to be those moments, those turbulent times, those moments where things will come in to try to disrupt, right? Or create havoc in a situation. That's why you have to stay prayed up and use your discernment and stuff in life, because oftentimes I've always wondered, and it's so crazy, but I feel like there's something about like relationships around this time. I feel like just like stepping into, like, I don't know if it's kind of like counseling in a sense or it helps, but it's like just knowing that, like I said, if it's not detrimental. Now Miss T is not saying that you stay in something with someone that they're mistreating you, like, truly disrespecting you, putting their hands on you, abuse, whatever, mentally, emotionally, physically. No, I am not telling you to stay in something like that, okay? Although there are people that will stay in something like that for 50, 60 years just because of the comfortability of it, the familiarity of it, and the fear of not knowing anything other than that. Because sometimes, guys, we too can also allow ourselves to be, in a sense, conditioned mentally to believing that there's nothing outside of that, right? When in fact there's a lot more outside of that, but become so conditioned that we fear actually getting something outside of that, because that's, whatever that is going to actually feel better than what we thought we had to be so coped to or stuck to or conform to. Okay, now that's for someone that could be going through something that they just kind of conform to a situation because they feel like there's nothing outside of that, and that could be either mental abuse, physical abuse, something going on here. Okay, you never have to stay in that. But if there's something where this has been a relationship where it's had its highs and it's had its lows and it's had its ups and it's had its downs, you just have to fall into it, right? You have to fall back into love. You have to fall back into what it is that you love. You have to fall back into this thing or this person. You just have to fall back into it. And it's kind of like just doing it, right? Just doing it, just going for it, just going towards it and not caring, right? You are falling into something around this time and you are not going to be caring, right? Because if it's worth fighting for, or it's something that you really, really want, then you will, like the vows in a sense say, till death do you part, right? Right? Okay, I don't know who this is for, but if you have someone that you know at the end of the day has never truly tried to harm you, or hurt you, but there may be disagreements, there may be things where you two can't get on the same page or something like that, there are things that can be worked through. There are things that you can grow through. There's counseling, there's therapists. And if you've done all of that and yet and still nothing has changed, then yes, you take it to the Most High. You should be doing that anyways. Always take it to the Most High about every and anything. But For real, for real. There's something around this time where it's like I feel like someone is falling back into it. And whatever this is, whether this be good or bad, only you would know. But I feel a good energy in a sense. I feel like there's something where someone is falling back into something again and remembering, thank you, Spirit, remembering why someone did something to begin with. Right? And sometimes, guys, you have to try to, in a sense, especially in a connection where you've been with someone for so long, sometimes you have to try to remember the reasons why you were with this person to begin with. What attracted you to this person? What made you like this person? What gave you the desire to go towards this person, right? What was it about this person? Now, hopefully it was of righteous intent. And if it was of righteous intent, that means that it can be found again, right? There can still be that thing that you found when you found this person. But you have to work on it, right? You have to, you have to grow into it, right? And growth requires things sometimes that are going to happen in a relationship. There are going to be tests. There are going to be trials. There are going to be tribulations. There are going to be other people that may look better than someone that you may be with, okay? There are going to be people that will try to tempt your spouse. There are going to be people that will hate on the relationship. There are going to be people that will hate that you found love because they don't know it or know how to find it, or they feel as if it doesn't exist outside that comfortability. So because they're not willing to realize that there's real love outside of that comfort, but someone doesn't know how to do that, so they will hate on someone that has found real love. So there's something around this time, guys, where maybe you're protecting something, or maybe you have your barrier up or your guard up, or something up around this time when it comes to your love or to a relationship that you may be going into or that you've been in for some time, right? Sometimes you have to put that guard up. You have to protect your connection, because if you don't pray over your spouse, if you don't try to really keep someone from harm, they say the tongue is powerful, so you have to speak life. And that's a real thing. No matter if it's your spouse, whoever, you have to speak life into that person, because if you do not, then that's when the enemy will come in and have someone else try to speak something into that person that they'll start thinking sounds right, because you're not speaking it into them yourself. They have to know, just like you have to know, that it's solid, that it's there, right? And if this is not someone speaking life into you, uplifting you, and making you feel like you need to be a better person or want to be a better person, then you have to use your discernment, because it's so crazy. But as much as everybody may or may not how they feel about this young man, I still feel like this young man taught me something. You know what I'm saying, in a sense? Now, does that mean that people along their journey won't fall off or go astray? No. Everybody can fall off and go astray, but I still give someone their flowers. I still give someone their credit if they awakened me at all in life, right? And I used to watch a lot of young Pharaoh. Anyone that knows me knows this. And and I don't know why I'm being drawn to that, but everyone has like a up and a down. Everyone has someone that's going to go through something traumatic, regardless of how you feel about him or not. But he did drop knowledge on me. And he gave me, when one time he always used to say, when he was really doing his teachings, for real, he used to talk about relationships in a sense, and how the ship is supposed to move, right? It's not supposed to remain stuck. You want your ship to move. You want to keep going, right? You don't want to get so stuck, all right? Maybe someone's stuck on something, or someone's still stuck in a situation, and they're not allowing this situation to now move, right? Because if someone has done something and you have forgiven them of this thing that they have done, then you can't keep sitting in it. You have to let it move now, because there's somewhere that this ship needs to be. It's a relationship, right? You got to keep those relations moving. You got to keep it going. You got to keep the find that thing again, because you don't want it to get stuck. So there's something around this time where I give him his credit in a sense, because it makes sense. Okay, a ship is supposed to move. You don't want it to always be docked. So there's something around this time where I feel like you or someone are now moving. Your ship is going, your relationship is moving, you are moving on. Maybe you're going in a new path or a new way. Maybe you are moving. Maybe someone is moving, okay? Yeah, I'm hearing the takeoff. So maybe someone is flying, maybe someone is going somewhere. But whatever this is around this time, I really feel like there's something where someone needs to know that, sometimes the longest people that have been with someone, they probably have some stories you would be like, wow, right? Yes, there are some people that would stay with people regardless of whatever the person put them through. Children and all, they'll still stay, right? Because it's death do us part, and some people really, really uphold those vows. But I'm not saying that that's what you do. If that's how you feel, you have to take it to the Most High, and you have to pray on it. And there's something around this time where it's like, maybe someone is praying. Maybe someone's waiting for confirmation. I don't know. All I know is this. I feel like someone's getting ready to uphold to some sort of commitment. Someone is getting ready to uphold to some sort of vow. Someone is getting ready now. And despite, what some connections may go through, that's their connection, right? So I often don't try to judge anyone's relationship at this point in my life. I just feel like love who you want to love, right? Be happy. That's it. Like, just be happy. Like all that faking and acting like you happy and stuff for what? When you could really just be out here happy in love. Like, you don't have to front it. You don't have to act like it. You could really be in it. But you have to get out of that comfortability, right? You have to get out of that sense of conformity. You have to get out of that what makes you feel okay. Because you can feel great. Not everybody is out to be vicious. Not everybody is out to hurt a man. Not everybody is out to hurt a woman. And it's so crazy. Thank you, Spirit. But I don't know who needs to know this, but it's not like that for real. Like, there's some good people out here, because I'm one of them. Yo, I'm a good person. I don't care what nobody say. At least I try to be, right? So, and I'm one of them, yo, and I'm out here, okay? So it's like, and I know I'm not the only one. I've met plenty of good people. That does not mean that you have to feel like they don't exist, because they do, right? You just got to get out of that comfortability of what you feel like is all that you can have, when no, you can have someone great, right? So there's something around this time where I feel like someone's realizing that around this time. Not saying that I'm, not me. I'm not talking about myself. I don't do that. I'm humble, okay? I'm not saying that it's like I'm the greatest. No, of course not. No. Okay? Because I'm not. I'm not. But I'm as good as I can be for who I am as a person. Or at least I'm trying to be, right? Like, I'm trying, okay? This is real. This is therapy with Miss T. Keep it real, raw, and uncut. I am trying, okay? Meaning I am in the act of trying to get it together, right? Okay. But that does not mean I got it all figured out. Heck, no, nobody got it all figured out. But what I'm trying to tell you is that there are good people out here. So you don't have to feel like you got to be stuck. Okay, there's a lot of good men out here that sometimes people will look over. There's a lot of good women that people will look over. Why? Because of what they feel like it has to look like. Right? No. Go off of the character. I keep saying the context, the heart. You better go off of the heart. But there's something around this time, guys, where I feel like someone may just need to know that there are still really good people out there. And despite, whatever comfortability or whatever thing or whatever this, thing may be, you don't have to stay in it if it's not something that you feel like you are connected to and love. And if you are in something and you do feel the love, then fall into it again, right? Fall back into the love. If you feel it and it's there and it's genuine and someone has been, in a sense, you forgive, right? But you don't sit. The relationship has to keep moving. There's things that you still have to do if you want to be in this relationship. And sometimes the past can really hold someone up or harbor them or keep them stuck in a point in their relationship because it's the past and someone's still sitting in it. When you're now away from it, how many days, right? How many days ago was it? How many years ago was it? What year was it? So then does it have relevance to today, right? And it gets to a point where that's not an easy thing to do, to just say, oh, well, it never happened. No, you don't dismiss that it took place, right? No, it happened. But you allow yourself to speak about it, to pray about it, to go on it, and to give it to the Most High and say, okay, this thing happened. This happened, it took place, this is what it is. But this does not have to be where it stays. This does not have to be what it has to be, right? There's always redemption. You can always redeem yourself. You can always be a better person. You don't have to stay where you've been. You can be a better person. Facts, okay? Regardless of what anyone thinks of you or says of you. Take it from me, Miss T. I could care less. I be trying to tell people. I really don't care. And it's not that it's like I'm in a disrespectful sense of not caring. No. Is that the only person at the end of the day I am in care of, and that's not even a person, right? It's the Most High. That's it. That's who I'm living my life for. So I don't know about everybody else. I can only tell you about me, okay? So once you start feeling like that, you don't care about what these other people have to say. Live your life. Love who you want to love. If it's of righteous intent, if y'all been together for forever, who cares? That's y'all business. That's y'all love. But you may have to work on some things because you still have to grow in the love, especially if you've been together since you was young. Like young, right? Like, because that's how it is for some people. They've been together since they was young. So you either gonna let this ship move or you gonna get off, right? If you done dock somewhere, you're going to have to make a choice. Do you want this ship to continue? Do you want to see what's left in it? Do you want to see or create more memories? Or do you feel like it's time to get off? But there's something here where people make mistakes, but you don't have to be in that situation if it becomes a pattern, right? It's fool me once. So you give someone, okay, you messed up. I forgive you. But it's not fool me twice, right? That's when we got a problem, okay? That's when you got a problem. Tell her, Miss T said, that's when you got the problems. When it start becoming a pattern, okay? We don't do them patterns no more. It's 2022. We don't do them patterns, okay? I'm just playing. Y'all don't listen, but don't listen. Don't take everything face value, okay? I'm goofy, okay? I'm Miss T. But anyways, thank you, Spirit. I'm still goofy Miss T. But anyways, it's so funny. Someone named me, what she called me one time? She called me Giggles or something. She called me Giggles. Okay, there was I don't even remember. Okay, I just remember I was having a good time with my uncle, and we was at someone's basement, and she named me Giggles because I was always laughing. So maybe there's something around this time where someone always makes you laugh or something, or maybe you Giggles, okay? But anyways, it was so funny. It was so cute. I was being drawn to that for some reason. But when I used to have good times, man, and I always had fun with my uncle. That's one person, my Uncle Farad. And one person I always can say I had a good time with. So there's something around this time where maybe there's someone that you always had a good time with, or something where someone is coming into your life, or there's something here where you're remembering how you always had a good time with this person, right? Maybe you missed that. Maybe you missed it. Maybe there was something where you missed having these moments or these good times. Oh, you're about to have some good times, okay? You're about to have some good times. So just know that if there's something where it's like you feel like you had missed something, or you couldn't find something, you're about to have some good times again. And I just keep hearing fall back into it. Fall into it. Just go with it. Just allow it to be. I'm hearing follow the yellow brick road, okay? Follow it. Follow the yellow brick road. Go to where it is you feel like you need to go. But just know at the end of the day, when she got to the Wizard of Oz, she realized he wasn't some big grand person after all, right? It was a little old frail man, right? And the power was within her the whole time. So just start tapping them feet because you're on your way home, okay? The power is within you, all right? Just know that and start to find whatever it is that gives you that power again and fall into it, right? You got to fall back into the love. You gotta fall into it, okay? But yeah, guys, so I don't know who this message is for, but that's what the Most High was really placing on me for someone, is to let you know, or to let them know, that it's time to fall. And if that's into your relationship, fall back into it. If it's of righteous intent, you can forgive this person, or if this person can honestly forgive you, we all fall. What Donnie McClurkin said, he said, we fall down. What? But we get up. He telling you, for a saint is a sinner who just fell down. Doesn't mean you can't be a good person. You just fell. You had a moment. Doesn't mean you gonna stay there. You might fall, but you better not stay there, okay? Tell them no. They say, I'm gonna stay on their neck. I'm gonna give them pressure. You better give them some pressure. Or what? I think that was Kevin Gates. I don't know. Ernie Rucci, one of them said it. It was like, I'm gonna stand on his chest. I'm gonna give him pressure, okay? I don't know. But give somebody pressure and let them know that you might fall down, but you gonna get back up. Duh. Telling they can't hold you back. But anyways, you know, this therapy with Miss T. So yeah, guys, I just feel like you about to fall back into it. You about to fall back into the love. You about to remember why you fell in love in the first place, or why you had love. This 555 on the phone. So there's something about to happen, okay? There's about to be some change. You about to fall back into it. So yeah, guys, for someone, just know that some of the longest relationships, right? Some of the longest couples, some of the longest people that have been together for forever, can you only imagine what they've had to experience in them relationships? Sometimes, you know, some people go through some things, right? But it's the love that hopefully overcomes at the end. And as like I said, you know, you always can go to counseling, go speak to someone, but just think about it. Like, you know, some people's connections go through some problems. And you know, I'm not one to talk about stuff because I done been through plenty of problems in my relationships, right? Who hasn't, guys? Who hasn't had somebody's like a relationship that was some problems, right? Trust me, if anybody knows, is Miss T. I done been through some things, and when it comes to them relationships, but at the end of the day, and these are things that most people would be like, I don't want love no more. I'm not doing, you know, like, and I can't lie. I started feeling like that. I did, like, and it's sad because you don't ever want to cut yourself completely off from love. But I had got to the point in my life where I was like, forget it. I don't even want it. Like, what's the point? Because at this point, this the whole love thing ain't working for me, right? So like, maybe it just like don't exist for Tiara, okay, for Miss T. Maybe it don't exist, but that's how I started to feel. But I had to change my thought. I couldn't keep thinking like that, or that was what I was going to keep attracting, the things that I felt like were never going to be of love, like for real, like clearly, right? So once you start to change your mindset, you attract love. Somebody that's like thinking like you, like, I don't got time for the foolery no more, right? No, it's time to grow up. So there's someone that's ready to grow up, someone that's not about the foolery no more. They ready for love, right? And you get the love, but you're gonna go through some stuff before you get to it. And that's just having to find love, I guess. I don't know, but it's not that the relationships I was in, that it wasn't, you know, coming from a place of love. Yes, but it also came from some places of other places that wasn't of love, right? But it's still all love. Yo, because it taught me what I don't need to deal with when it comes to love. So just love, guys, and know that sometimes some of the longest relationships gonna go through some things. But if someone has learned from something that they've done and they fell, just know that they can get back up. And you one time were down at one point in your life. You may have done something, whether it was with this relationship or another relationship. None of us are perfect. Whether we say things or we think things or we do things or we provoke things or we try things, you know, none of us are perfect. None of us. And so just know that sometimes we fall down too, but we can get back up. And that's what he was telling you, right? A saint is a sinner. You've messed up, but it doesn't mean that you have to stay there. You can get back up, right? So just get back up and fall back into it. That's it. That's the message. So as always, guys, I hope you are blessed, safe, and well. But yeah, that's what the Most High was placing on me today, to let somebody know that you just got to fall back into that love, fall back into the love for the job, fall back into the love for the career, fall back into the love for your business, fall back into the love of your life. Fall back into the love of your health. Fall back into the love of your wealth. Just fall back into love. Fall back into love with your children. Fall back into love with your family. Fall back into love. It is time, okay? It is time. So until next time, and as always, guys, what we tell them? We tell them namaste.